Hello guys, this is Pradeep back with another topic today. So on this in this session, I'm going to discuss about mostly RE framework and its interview questions. So before that, I want to open this interview. Sorry, I want to open this RE framework. I think it's already open. Yeah. So let's get started with it. The first thing which I'll ask is what is RE framework? Okay, so I'll expect something like there's a template, a state machine template, and within that we have it's a simple one. I'm asking basic questions. So we have four transactions: initialization, get transaction, and process transaction, and end transaction, end process, basically. So what is the difference between these four transaction items? I mean four states. As you can see, these three init, get transaction, and process transaction are states, and the end process final states. I'll expect this from them. So I'll show you the what is the activity. So this is the end process activity which we used, and these init, get transaction, and process transaction. And next thing is I'll ask what are the advantages and why do we use RE framework? So RE framework is basically provides a good level of error handling and retry mechanism in case of any failures like business exception and application exception, and it is robust exception handling, logging, retry mechanism, as I said, and it will break down of entire automation projects to specific segments. So this is what it is. Now the first thing is I'll ask them to explain block by block. Initialize, what does it do in initialization? So the first thing they do is explain the configuration condition. What do you mean by config? Is nothing. Will configure it every time when we run the bot or not? And the other thing is we are reading assets and kill all process. How does these two workflows work? So basically, when it comes to this init all settings, I'll ask about the assets, mostly regarding orchestrator assets and related to orchestrators. So what I'll ask is how can we store credentials when it comes to project? If they say assets and orchestrators, Windows credentials, and storage buckets, and Azure keyword, any other third-party application, that will be great. And if they answer good, then I'll ask about the types of assets we have: text, boolean, and integer, and credential. That's it. So I'll ask them that. And what does the kill process do? What does the kill process do? So every time when we are running an application, it will close every time. They can answer this. And the add logs. Once this is done, we are good. And then what we are in the init all application, we usually do open all the applications here, and we are catching as a system exception here. And I'll ask about the entry and exit point of the states, and I'll ask about the what is this transition. It's basically trigger. I'll first ask about what is the transition lines in RE framework. Yeah. So once I'm done with that, so I'll ask about what are the transition lines within the RE framework. So transition lines is nothing but these lines, as you can see. success, system errors. Interconnecting between the states are called transition lines. So I want to open one of these, let's say system error. So as you can see, I'll ask about what are the triggers in RE framework. Triggers is basically connecting one transaction to another based on the conditions. So as you can see, the first, I'll minimize this every time, everything once. As you can see, we defined the two conditions here. The first trigger will happen when system error is nothing, which means system errors will get it from try catch block from init block. This variable, if it is nothing, it will directly go to get transaction data. If not, it will come to the second condition to check if system error is not nothing. That means if system error variable has some value in it, like let's say exception, it will directly go to end process and end the process. So this is how it works. You can move up and down here based on your requirements. You can define other condition uh, to go to some process, directly process something like that. This is one part. So basically I'll talk about what are the transition lines, what are the transition lines slash triggers. And then when it comes to get transaction data, I'll ask about the should stop signal. So what is it do and how it works, and I'll ask condition here, and then get transaction data. Well, and I'll ask about what is the default variable type of transaction item, if there's a queue item, and what if I don't want to use queue for this process, for this project, and what is the alternate method for this. Let's say I want to use a mail messages as an input, as a transaction item, as a mail message. What do I do in this case? I'll ask, and if they answer good, then it's fine. And again, we'll have two conditions here, transitions. I'll open that as well. Data. The first condition is transaction is not nothing. That means if transaction item has some value in it, variable has some value in it, it will directly go to process transaction. If transaction item is nothing, it will go to end process. That's it. So then I'll go to process transaction. This is a simple one where we have all the process in here, the main business process. In final, it's a transaction status. What do I do is I'll most probably ask about what are all the exception handling there, system, business, and success. What is the condition? How it will increment every transaction, and what is the retry mechanism in it? When we give a retry mechanism, I mean retry number from config file as well as orchestrator. Now, as you can see, we have three transition lines going from process to get transaction data as well as init. So I want to open at least one. As you can see, if system error is not nothing, it will directly go to initialization, which means if system error is having some variable or some value in this, it will directly go to init and restart the entire process from scratch. And this is if we are successful, it will increment here and go fetch a new value and process it, and as well as a business exception. That's it. So these are the basic questions of RE framework, and I'll ask about the assets and orchestrator related when it comes to deep. Uh, how can we add items to queue? Like what are all the different methods we can add items to queue? Let's say add queue item, add transaction item, and bulk item. And I'll ask properties of it, like what is the private, reference, commit type, and item collection. And after that, I'll ask about the difference between should stop, kill, or stop. most of the time. And about this thing, error handlings, exception handling, try catch. So after this, I'll most of the time I'll give them a test case. Let's say I want to retry initialization path, the entire initialization block 3 times before going to end process. What do I do in that case? So nothing. I'll just connect a new line here, and I'll write a condition here, and I'll write a retry number. Retry number is less than 3, and I'll increment the value here. Let's say retry number plus 1. It will retry until 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. What is the predefined number here? 0. So it will retry 3 times before going to end process. Let me check here. First thing I could have added here only. We can directly define in condition here. For that, we need to first let me delete that. So basically, we can define it here itself and move and make that as a priority first one. So it will check for that particular condition. Let's say for the first thing is it will go check the condition. If system error is nothing or not nothing, and then it will come to retry mechanism. So if the answer is good, then it's fine. That's it. So that's it, guys. This is what I'll do or what I've been interviewed before. So if you have any questions, please do comment, and I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. And thank you, guys.